Hello all of you little demons, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, back again with another episode of the awesomely named and awfully hosted Choose Your Own Adventure, the medieval-themed weekly format where you, yes you the person at home, deciding whether or not if what the cats eat on a daily basis, if put between two slices of bread, would make a nice protein-enriched meal. If you are going to do it, make sure that you use Whiskers over Felix because of the fact that it has a slightly lower sugar content, and no, it will not taste good. What am I talking about? Get to decide what I present to you each and every week. And this week we have Bear Cat Aquatic. Actually, that's probably why I thought about the Whiskers line just now. Anyway, we have Bear Cat Aquatic for their suggestion of 10 insanely huge bosses that you had to take down from the inside. And it got me thinking that there really are some lads that put the big into that's a big bad lad when it comes to video games. But you know what they say, the bigger they are, the quicker you're cancelled on Twitter or something like that. So you know what, let's prove that minuscule can indeed be mighty and that size doesn't matter. You hear that, Kerry? And let's take a look at some bosses that you took down from the inside. But before we begin, just remember that you can put your comments for next week's episodes, suggestions, and all down in the comments section below, and also in the live chat that's just to the side. Hey, what up, guys? How's it going? But until then, let's crack on with the list, shall we? Number 10, the RIFTWORM, Gears of War 2. Now, on the general scale of the world of what is badass and what is not, worms tend to be quite low on that list. But the great RIFTWORM from Gears of War 2, well, oh boy, buckle up. No, seriously, because he eats you when you're trying to escape on a helicopter. And this thing is so huge that you don't actually die, but instead get the air quotes pleasure of messing around in its innards for a while. Now, I am a man who likes to go guts deep in other aspects of my life, but here, my God, this was disgusting because it's got these little parasites that try to eat you alive and help along with the digestion. Ew, get off me, gross. And for a spectacular finale, you then have to cut 4 of the RIFTWORM's ventricle arteries open to kill it, at which point you are practically bathing in the creature's blood, and it is glorious, but also gross. And it's a bit of a shame that the gang don't even get to catch their breath before being hurried along to the next mission. I mean, Jesus Christ, have you just seen what they've done? Let him have a smoke break. He's going on smoko, mate. But no. Number 9, KILLABILLY, LOLLIPOP Chainsaw. LOLLIPOP Chainsaw is quite simply a really deranged game, and I absolutely love it. And one of the bosses that you can fight in this game is called KILLABILLY, which is a giant zombie Elvis impersonator that's got like a kind of lick-a-tongue mouth muscle that he uses to whip you with. I know it sounds mad. It's glorious. But here's the thing, while this Presley pretender might be singing that you're always on his mind, you'll be headed to the belly of the beast once it's been downed by your dear old dad to take on the actual evil of the show, the nefarious Swan. Now, Swan summoned this apocalypse of zombies and was hiding out inside KILLABILLY, or what is technically left of him after he's been decapitated. Like I said, it's a weird game. Anyway, after attaching your boyfriend's head to the body, like I said, it's a weird game. So this is the thing, had you not delved into KILLABILLY's gross green insides, the world would have ended. So yes, while technically you didn't take down this boss from the inside, KILLABILLY's belly did house the true evil, which allowed you to save the day. So for that, I'm putting it on the list. Alright, you got a problem with that? Write to me. Write to me now. Write to me now, bud. Do you reckon I've got a good Welsh impersonation after being down here? Alright, bud. I'll buy you a can of Coke. Pass me that. Nah. Here, you getting the number 400 to Cardiff? Go off, bud. Listen, man. Right, anyway. Number 8, CEREBUS, DANTE'S Inferno. So Dante's Inferno has some incredibly designed bosses and enemies, and one need only look at the multi-mouthed and multi-headed CEREBUS, or CEREBUS, however you want to pronounce it, as testament to this fact. He forms the boss of the gluttony level, and honestly, this thing is so disgusting and it weirdly tries to attack you with what can only be described as hungry hippos' approach to fighting. Yet, in a brilliant move, the only way to defeat this is to actually let it eat you and then burst through from its neck, slicing it out from the inside, kind of like a tiny little chest burster. Is that cute? No, I don't think so. Now, if the heads had any sense, they'd learn from this mistake, but seeing as they only exist to eat, you can hardly blame them from carrying on and allowing you to defeat them. Plus, to be honest, it does look very, 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 very cool. Number 7, Isaac's Mother, Binding of Isaac. So when you first start traveling through the Binding of Isaac video game, you're probably thinking to yourself, this is a pretty weird game. And yes, also nice voice. Good to see that the elderly are playing this game. But also, it can and will get much weirder. Freaky weird. Because as you start to travel deeper and deeper, things, oh my god, they get strange. And you'll even wind up in a level titled Mum's Womb. Oh, sorry, what was that? You were expecting me to make a certain joke that I used to make. No, guys, I've moved on from that. No. Plus, it's too easy. Just like your mum. So obviously, if you're in that place, then you're most likely actually inside your mum. And you know what? This is confirmed when you fight the final boss of this level, Mum's Heart, which does appear to be her literal heart. And it is one of the most challenging bosses in the game. And this is a game that is filled to the brim with challenging bosses. However, should you be able to beat this heartbreaker, thumbstick acre of a boss, then you literally have beaten the boss from the inside. But it does beg the question, if this is actually the inside of your mum, how bloody massive is she? Number 6, GORDIANT, Lost Planet 2. Now, not enough gets said about the Lost Planet series. It's basically Monster Hunter, but with guns. I know, right? And it's filled to the brim with so many amazing monster designs that are absolutely monolithically huge. I mean, I'll tell you what, Osley, it's time for a little game of What the Hell Is That?
What the hell is that?
Oh, seriously, what's that? What the hell is this? Or this? Answers on a postcard, please.
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that?
No thanks, I'm good. And finally we have the GORDIANT, a crystal lizard slug style thing that can totally eat you. Get too close to the beastie's mouth or decide to walk in fearlessly and you're treated to a first-class trip to its colossal stomach. Yet it's not all that bad because here you can target several internal weak points of the beast, meaning that being eaten alive here is actually a totally acceptable tactical plan. But the best thing about this boss is that if you ever played the demo for Lost Planet 2, this was the first thing that you could fight, meaning that you could just be wandering around minding your own business and come across this thing and be swallowed alive. Brilliant. More demos need to do this. Basically just absolutely railroad you with a completely impossible boss and just be like, if you want to buy the rest of the game, that'll be 60 quid. Brilliant. I'd buy it in a heartbeat. Number 5, GALDON, Star Fox Adventures. Now, if you want a quick review on what I think of Star Fox Adventures, then don't worry because I have, as always, got a musical interlude and I've prepared a little song for you. Osley, are we ready? Yeah?
Yeah.
James, have we tuned up all right?
Give me a minute, Jules. Give me a minute. I'm still tuning.
Fantastic. Guys, you want to do a quick bit of vocal harmony before we start? Ready? Perfect. Great. Okay, ready?
It sucks.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Anyway, there is one good thing about this game. One. And that is the fact that you actually get eaten alive by a bloody dinosaur. After breaking GALDON free from his icy prison, he rewards you by, well, doing exactly what you might imagine a creepy bug-dragon hybrid might do, and that is that he tries to kill you pretty much immediately. Now, halfway through the fight, a cutscene occurs in which the dino decides that enough is enough and eats you whole. But this isn't the end of the fight. No, you're inside its throat now. So what you do is you absolutely stab it right in the uvula and it causes him to cough you back up again. It's grim. But you know what? It's not enough to stop him from doing the same thing again like an idiot. But this time you lacerate his larynx and escape and then he dies there and then. This got pretty dark pretty quick, didn't it? Number 4, the Leviathan, Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening. The majority of the Devil May Cry franchise is, put simply, pretty goddamn hog wild. But I think that because of everything that we'd seen as fans of the first 2 games, when we approached Devil May Cry 3, we probably were just there like, oh Capcom, we've seen it all and done it all. You can't surprise us. And to that, Capcom did this, like a Machiavellian anime villain. Baka. In Mission 8 of the 3rd installment, you're eaten alive by the whale god itself and then have to fight your way back out with your guns and barbarous wit. And how do you do this? Well, you beat the absolute piss out of its organs, culminating in a boss battle with the creature's heart that ends with some genuinely uncomfortable squelching noises. Seriously, I hope you like wet bread ASMR because this is what it sounds like. I hate it. Number 3, Metroid Queen, Metroid Other M. So your fight with the Metroid Queen in Other M, despite the game's other flaws, is actually pretty decent, and it does give us a full 3D model of the Queen, which is, quite simply, terrifying. However, you might be fooled for thinking that the boss fight is done and dusted after just one round, because the Queen hits the deck pretty hard when she does. However, you've clearly not watched enough anime or played many video games, friend, because this isn't even her final form. You fool! Instead, this forces Samus to go against company orders and use her ball mode to barrel into the Queen's stomach and tear her apart from the inside out. Ouch. Woof, am I right, ladies and gent? But this is the thing, it's a brilliant experience, but unfortunately it doesn't kind of make up for the rest of the game, because lest we not forget, while this is an incredible moment, it's also one that infuriates you because it reminds you that the ball mode, one of her most iconic moves, has been banned in a Metroid game. What were they thinking? Number 2, the Nexus, Dead Space 3. Oh, what's this? Another boss that eats you? Yawn. Am I right? Well, hold on, you fool! Because this one is actually a little bit different. This isn't your run-of-the-mill pit of Sarlacc slogfest, because while the Nexus does eat you like a Mars bar made of meat, and you do fight your way out again, this time it's not in a wide open space, but the very intestines of the beast. Honestly, it is so utterly creepy to be in this claustrophobic space with all of its fluids just washing over you, and to get out of it, you have to shoot its mucus sacs. And then, to top it all off, it doesn't throw you up or anything like that. It excretes you out of one of its many, many buttholes. And you know what? For killing this nightmare thing, your reward is a big old kick in the side. Life is like that sometimes. It sucks. And number 1, CHRONOS, God of War 3. Now, there are a ton of brilliant boss battles that you can face in the God of War franchise, but none are as huge, as monolithic, and absolutely outstandingly epic as your battle against CHRONOS. Kind of reminds me about like when my dad and I used to play fight. My little bold kid, little Kratos, just taking on my dad, and he's just like, oh no, you're attacking me. Oh no, you actually got me, you little shit. This boss fight almost feels like a deleted Colossi straight out of Shadow of the Colossus, and you will have a massive dumb smile on your face as you climb across the giant's body, taking on enemies that appear to be kind of like living on the old god like fleas. And when CHRONOS tries to batter you, you reward his efforts by ripping out his fingernails. Jesus Christ. Although finally he does have enough of the old pissing about and losing his digits and decides to pick you up and just eat you. That'll solve all his problems, right? Wrong. This is because this allows you to slide your way down his gullet and then rip a hole in his torso, which then results in his innards becoming very much outards, and from here it's a nail to the chin and a blast to the brain, and finally CHRONOS is dead and you're left feeling truly like the god of gore for what you've gone through. And it is absolutely delicious. Thumbs up. Ooh. Actually, maybe not thumbs, considering what I've just said about his fingernails, but you get the gist. And there we go, that was another episode of Choose Your Own Adventure. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below, as well as any suggestions you've got for future episodes, because who knows, I might pick one of them and then turn them into a glorious Tesco brand comedy list. Isn't that swell? If you want to chat to me further, you can do so over on Twitter at RetroJ with a 0. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. We detailed today about video game heroes that had to go within to try and take down their greatest foes. And I feel like we can learn a lesson from that, because sometimes we are very harsh to ourselves for no real reasons. Our brain will play tricks on us and will tell us that we're not worth it. And I'm here to turn that minuscule powerhouse that we spoke about today into an absolute titan. And now I'm going to say to you that you are an absolute bloody ledge. I wish you full success in whatever you were getting up to today, as long as it isn't infringing on the rights or hurting on anyone else. You know, I could do without that weighing on my conscience. But still, I hope that you absolutely smash your goals, and I hope that you succeed in the 3 pillars of life of love, happiness, and achieving success, because we all deserve that as human beings, and we should all be bigging ourselves up. We shouldn't be letting our fears and our worries create massive shadows for us to occupy. We need to be the light that absolutely outshines that, and we can do that by starting with ourselves, with our friends, with our family, making sure that they're taken care of as well. So go out there and spread love and not hate. Build bridges instead of burning them, all right? As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. You absolute monolith. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.